Hey, deep divers, welcome back to the show. Now, today we're going to be diving into the world of AI software,
Oh, yeah.
um, and specifically looking at a company that's making some pretty big waves right now,
Okay.
Palantir. And, we always start our deep dives with a source.
Of course.
So the source that we're looking at today is a Motley Fool article,
All right.
and the title is quite a doozy.
Okay.
It's called Prediction: This Artificial Intelligence AI Stock Could Be Worth More Than Salesforce by the End of 2025.
Whoa.
I know, right?
Bold prediction.
It is, and it just came out a couple days ago, February 15th.
Oh, wow. So it's very current?
It's very current, so we're getting like a really up-to-the-minute perspective on this.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm really interested to kind of dig in and see what they have to say.
Yeah, me too.
And I think, you're obviously the perfect person to talk about this with.
Well, I appreciate that.
So, let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
So the article starts off by kind of laying the groundwork. We're talking about these two major players in the enterprise software world, Salesforce
Right.
and Palantir, and they're both kind of, using AI as this big driver for growth.
For sure.
But what's really interesting is that Salesforce, they're currently the bigger of the two companies, but their market value has been kind of fluctuating.
It has been. Yeah, it's been all over the place lately.
Exactly. And then you have Palantir, whose market cap has been steadily climbing.
Yeah, and that's what makes this prediction so interesting, right?
Right.
I mean, if you look at the numbers as of February 10th, Salesforce's market cap was only about $52 billion larger than Palantir's.
Wow.
Yeah, and the article actually includes this really interesting chart that shows how those market caps have been converging over time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty striking. It really drives home the point that Palantir is gaining ground.
So visually you can see it.
You could definitely see it.
Okay, so Salesforce, I know they've built this huge ecosystem.
They have.
By acquiring all these different companies, like Tableau for data visualization.
Yeah, they bought Slack for communication.
Right, exactly. So they've got this really comprehensive suite of data-driven applications.
That's their whole strategy, right? To be this one-stop shop.
Exactly. Yeah. So it seems like a really smart strategy, but I'm sensing a
Well, there is but
okay.
it seems like Wall Street's getting a little impatient.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're putting pressure on Salesforce to focus more on organic growth. They want them to develop their own solutions.
So not just acquire.
Exactly. Not just rely on buying up other companies.
I see.
They want to see Salesforce innovate from within.
Okay, that makes sense.
And, Salesforce has shown some improvement in that area.
Okay.
But their performance has been a little inconsistent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some quarters they exceed expectations, other quarters they fall short.
Oh, so it's kind of up and down.
Exactly. So it's making investors a bit nervous, especially with all the competition out there.
And there's a lot of competition.
There's a ton. It's not just the big players like Microsoft. You've got companies like Monday.com, HubSpot, Atlassian,
Yeah.
all vying for a piece of the pie.
So Salesforce is kind of, having to fend off attacks from all sides.
They are, and they've even started venturing into this new area called agentic AI.
Agent AI? What's that?
It's basically giving software the ability to act independently on behalf of users.
Oh, interesting.
Like, imagine a virtual assistant, but much more sophisticated.
Oh, wow.
It can analyze data, make decisions, even take actions based on its understanding of your goals.
Wow, that sounds pretty cutting edge.
It is, but it also puts Salesforce directly in competition with Microsoft.
Oh.
Yeah, and Microsoft has significantly more resources to throw around.
So it sounds like Salesforce is really in a tough spot.
They're trying to maintain their dominance in a rapidly changing market.
Okay, so we've got Salesforce facing all these challenges, but then we have Palantir.
The underdog.
The underdog, right. And they're smaller in terms of revenue and earnings.
For now.
For now. But they're attracting some serious attention.
They are, especially through these partnerships they've formed with some of the biggest names in tech.
Yeah, we're talking Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Oracle.
The heavy hitters.
The heavy hitters, right? So what is it about Palantir that's so appealing to these giants? Wouldn't these companies just develop their own AI solutions if they needed them?
That's a great question, and it's one a lot of people are asking. There's clearly something about Palantir's technology and approach that these companies find incredibly valuable.
So valuable that they're willing to partner instead of compete.
Exactly, and a lot of the buzz seems to be centered around their Palantir Artificial Intelligence Platform, or AIP.
Okay, AIP, so tell me more about that. What is it and why is it generating so much interest?
Well, AIP is Palantir's flagship software suite, and it's designed to help businesses apply AI in a very targeted and impactful way.
Okay.
We're talking things like detecting fraud in real time, optimizing complex supply chains.
Wow.
Even supporting national security efforts.
Okay, so some pretty high-stakes stuff.
Absolutely. It's not just about automating tasks. It's about empowering businesses to make more informed decisions and solve really complex problems.
So while Salesforce is trying to build this broad ecosystem through acquisitions, Palantir is focusing on building a very specialized and powerful AI platform.
And it seems to be working for them.
Yeah, I mean, attracting partners like Microsoft and Amazon is no small feat.
Definitely not.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about market cap and AI platforms, but before we go any further, I think it might be helpful to define a couple of key terms for our listeners who might not be as familiar with this world.
Sure, good idea.
Like we've mentioned market cap a few times.
Right.
What exactly does that mean?
So market cap is short for market capitalization,
Okay,
and it's basically the total value of a company's outstanding shares.
got it.
It's calculated by multiplying the current share price by the total number of shares. So when we talk about Palantir potentially surpassing Salesforce in market cap, we're talking about their overall value as companies.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's like a snapshot of their worth in the market.
Exactly.
Okay, and what about agentic AI? We talked about Salesforce venturing into that area. What exactly is that?
So agentic AI is a relatively new term, but it's gaining traction quickly. Essentially, it refers to AI systems that can act independently on behalf of a user or organization.
So like a really smart virtual assistant.
Exactly. Think of it like that, but on a much more sophisticated level. It can analyze data, make decisions, and even take actions based on its understanding of your goals and preferences.
Okay, so it's like AI with a mind of its own.
In a way, yes. It's AI that can take initiative and act on your behalf.
Wow, that's pretty amazing and a little scary at the same time.
It's definitely a powerful technology with a lot of potential, but also some potential risks that need to be carefully considered.
For sure. Okay, so to recap, Salesforce is trying to break into this agentic AI space, but they're facing some stiff competition, especially from Microsoft.
Right.
Meanwhile, Palantir is attracting attention with its specialized AI platform and these key partnerships.
It's a fascinating contrast in approaches.
It really is, and it makes me wonder if maybe Palantir is onto something with its more focused strategy.
It's definitely a question worth considering.
Okay, so now I'm really curious to see what the future holds for these two companies. What do the analysts predict?
Well, that's what we'll dig into next. We'll look at what Wall Street is saying and explore whether those predictions support the idea that Palantir could be on track to overtake Salesforce in value.
Okay, so stay tuned, deep divers, because things are about to get really interesting.
I can't wait.
Okay, so we've set the stage, Salesforce versus Palantir, this battle for AI supremacy.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the future. Like, what do the analysts think?
Well, the predictions are pretty interesting.
Okay.
Analysts are forecasting significantly higher revenue and earnings growth for Palantir.
Really?
Yeah, compared to Salesforce over the next 2 years.
Whoa, hold on. Significantly high. I mean, Salesforce is the bigger company right now.
They are.
You'd think they'd have, like, the advantage,
You would think so.
right? Like a bigger, more established company.
Right.
Shouldn't they be growing at a faster rate?
Well, that's where the whole transformative potential of AI comes in. They can really shake things up,
Yeah.
disrupt industries,
Right.
create entirely new markets.
Right.
So size isn't necessarily the deciding factor anymore.
That's a good point.
And I think analysts might be seeing some roadblocks for Salesforce.
Okay, like what?
Well, all that competition we talked about,
Yeah.
they're constantly having to defend their market share against all those aggressive competitors.
Right.
And that could definitely slow down their growth.
It's like they're this giant ship,
I like that analogy.
right? Like trying to turn. It's a lot harder.
Much harder than a smaller, more agile company like Palantir. They
Exactly.
can kind of zip around and adapt more quickly.
Right. So are analysts basically saying that AI might not be as, like, game-changing for Salesforce?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
If Salesforce was really going to dominate the AI landscape, you'd think those growth estimates would be sky high.
Yeah.
Regardless of their size.
Right.
Maybe their current business model, which relies so heavily on acquisitions,
Right.
just isn't the best fit for this fast-paced AI world.
Interesting. So maybe Palantir's more focused approach.
Right.
Developing this really specialized AI platform.
Exactly.
It gives them an edge.
It could, and it's kind of like they're building this high-powered engine,
Okay.
while Salesforce is trying to assemble this massive, multi-purpose vehicle.
Yeah, I get it. Like one is super specialized,
Right.
and the other one is trying to do a lot of things.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is a lot to digest.
It is.
What do you think our listener, like what should they be thinking about right now?
Well, I think the big question is, do you see Palantir's momentum continuing to build?
Yeah.
Do you think they can actually surpass Salesforce?
Right.
Or will Salesforce overcome these challenges
Right.
and solidify their position as the AI leader?
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough call.
It is. There's no easy answer.
But that's what makes these deep dives so fun.
Exactly. We're exploring the unknown,
Yeah.
trying to make sense of this rapidly evolving landscape.
So, okay, let's recap.
Okay.
Salesforce, big player,
Huge company.
long history of success.
Absolutely.
But they're facing some headwinds
They are.
in this AI world.
Inconsistent performance, fierce competition.
Right. And the analysts aren't super optimistic?
Not as optimistic as they are about Palantir.
Right.
Remember those growth estimates?
Yeah.
Much stronger growth predicted for Palantir.
Okay, so if those predictions hold true,
Right.
if Palantir keeps climbing,
Yeah.
and Salesforce struggles,
Right.
what does that mean for the tech industry?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
Could this signal a real shift in power
Okay.
with these specialized AI companies like Palantir taking center stage?
Interesting. So instead of going to the big guys.
Right, the one-stop shops.
Right.
Businesses might start looking for these best-in-class AI tools
Okay.
tailored to their specific needs.
There's like a more boutique approach.
Yeah,
Okay, so Palantir, they're like the bespoke suit of AI.
you could say that.
Okay, I like that. So we could see a move away from these massive platforms.
Potentially
Right.
towards a more specialized collaborative approach.
Okay.
Companies like Palantir, with their deep expertise in data analytics and complex problem solving,
Right.
they could become the go-to providers
Okay.
for businesses that really want to leverage AI strategically.
It's almost like the AI revolution is creating this whole new ecosystem.
It is.
And companies like Palantir are the new kings.
The new power players.
Right. It's not about who's the biggest right now.
Exactly.
It's about who can adapt.
Right.
Who can capitalize on these new opportunities.
The AI revolution is still in its early stages.
Yeah.
And we're witnessing the emergence of new leaders,
New strategy.
new possibility.
Exciting.
It is. And for those who want to learn more,
Yeah.
I highly recommend checking out the full article on the Motley Fool's website.
Yeah, they've got a lot of great insights.
They do.
But before you head over there,
Okay.
let's leave our listeners with one final thought-provoking question.
Right? I like it.
So we've talked about how Palantir's focus on AI might give them a long-term advantage.
Right.
But what if this is bigger than just software?
Okay.
What if this signals a broader trend
Interesting.
in how businesses approach technology?
Yeah, how they adopt new technology.
Exactly. Like, what if this is the beginning of a move away from the one-size-fits-all mentality?
Now that's a question worth pondering.
Right. Are we entering this era of specialized solutions?
Maybe.
Tailored to unique challenges and opportunities?
It's possible. And what does that mean for those big tech companies, the ones that build their empires on these all-in-one platforms?
I don't know, but it's a fascinating thing to think about.
It is.
The AI revolution is making us rethink everything.
How we work, how we innovate, how we approach the future.
And for businesses, this means being adaptable.
Being strategic.
And being open to new ways of thinking.
Exactly. It's not enough to just keep up with the trends anymore.
You gotta be ahead of the curve.
We've got to be shaping the future.
So, to our listeners, don't just observe the AI revolution.
Right.
Be a part of it.
Be curious.
Ask questions.
Explore how AI can transform your world.
Because this isn't just about technology.
Yep.
This is about the future we're all building together.
And that's a future worth diving into.
Man, we covered a lot of ground today, huh?
We did. It's amazing how much there is to unpack when it comes to AI.
I know, right? And it's changing so fast.
Constantly evolving.
It's hard to keep up.
It is, but that's what makes it so exciting.
It does make it exciting. You know, one thing that really stuck with me from our conversation is that idea of specialized AI solutions.
Oh, yeah.
Versus like those one-size-fits-all platforms.
Right, the jack of all trades, master of 10 approach.
Exactly. And I'm wondering, do you think that trend towards specialization could impact other parts of the tech industry?
That's a great question. You know, for a long time, the tech industry has been all about these big comprehensive platforms.
Right, like do it all.
Exactly. But as technology gets more sophisticated,
Yeah.
it might make more sense to focus on building really, really good solutions
Okay.
for very specific needs.
So instead of trying to be everything to everyone,
Right.
you become the best at one thing.
Exactly. And that could lead to a much more diverse and dynamic tech landscape.
Like that. And that would give businesses a lot more options.
It would. Instead of being locked into one giant platform,
Right.
they could pick and choose the tools that fit their exact requirements.
It's kind of like how we use apps in our personal lives now.
Oh, yeah. Great analogy.
Right. We have an app for everything.
Exactly. Music, navigation, fitness tracking.
You name it.
And they all work together seamlessly.
Right. So maybe business software is headed in that same direction.
It's definitely possible. And I think it would be a good thing.
Yeah, I think so too. More choices, more flexibility.
More innovation.
This whole conversation has really made me rethink how I see the tech world.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's like a whole new perspective.
And that's what these deep dives are all about, right?
Exactly. Challenging our assumptions, exploring new ideas.
Expanding our horizons.
So to our listener out there,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to question things.
Right. Don't assume that the biggest companies will always be on top.
The AI revolution is shaking things up.
Big time.
There are opportunities for new players to emerge.
Absolutely. And for existing players to reinvent themselves.
Be curious, stay informed.
Most importantly, be an active participant.
Shape the future.
Don't just watch it happen. Make it happen.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, thanks,
Until next time, deep divers, keep on exploring.
and keep asking questions.